Just hey, obviously we had that little run there of 4 games in 6 nights, and things obviously didn't go result-wise the way that we had wanted them to. You know, and one thing we talked about our guys with a little bit yesterday, and you know, you try and stay on the positive side of things, and just to take a bigger horizon and a bigger view of you know, where we're at, and you know, while we didn't get the results, that's at this point in time probably, you know, it's important. Obviously, we're in the business of winning and losing, but the process for us has to still be the main focus, and this is a year. You know, we're learning how to have success and how to win hockey games, and we got right back to work on that. I give the guys a lot of credit; they did as well, and you know, don't look at that specific time frame as that's our final grade for the year. There's a lot of things that have gone well, a lot of things we need to get better at, so that things will continue to go well, and figure out a way to improve and work into this weekend. So that's where we're at. I like the guys' attitude. They worked extremely hard yesterday, and we'll be ready to get back out there again against Wisconsin this weekend.
And how badly though does this team just, you know, it's 4 straight, and with the break it's a longer time, how badly do they just need to feel what they should?
Well, it would have been nice, obviously. You know, it's always easier to imprint, you know, the good things that happen when you have some positive feedback. But, you know, it's a little bit like, you know, again, taking a longer view. You know, you're driving somewhere with your kids and they're in the back seat, and you know, they're screaming, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And no, we're not there yet. And that's we'll get there when we get there. And that's, we've kind of tried to get them again to focus more on that process, and not, you know, the results will take care of themselves. And Coach Exter had said something about, you know, you got to play like it's 0-0 all the time. And I think if we can focus on that, and that's, you know, that's everybody, and they've had a little taste of success, and I think sometimes when that happens, then you know, it almost puts more pressure on. You're like, oh wow, you know, Coach was telling us we can win, we can actually win games, and now you start focusing on that. And you know, if you look at, you know, the national championship game last night, and you hear what, you know, Coach Saban talked about in the middle of the game, it was exactly that. And that's a team that is in a national championship game, and you know, we're not close to that right now. But the same thing, hey, you know, execute, you know, do the things that we can do, you know, get back to the game plan, and that's how we're approaching things with our guys.
Is that process how you as a coach and a staff, I don't want to say accept losing, but you can handle it better because you realize this team and this program is learning something from all of this?
I think you have to approach it in that manner, because that's how you want the team to do it. And if we're losing our patience, we're losing our confidence or our belief in what we're trying to do, then you know, as leaders, so are they. So you're right. You don't ever want to accept losing, and that's certainly not where we're at. But the bigger issue would be accepting not playing the right way. And I think, again, if we can get, you know, just make sure that they stay on that and keep learning how to have success. And I think you've seen a lot of that on Friday to Saturday nights in terms of us playing average and kind of letting the game come to us on Friday, and then on Saturday being a little more ornery and a little more desperate, and playing more physical and with more pace and having more success. And it's kind of that vicious cycle, and then, okay, geez, we had success, and then you know, you go about learning the same lesson the following week. So I think that's something we're moving through, but absolutely not, you know, acceptable. But like I said, you know, how we measure our results, or how we're reacting to things, and how we're moving through our season.
And what are the positives that you see in this team that you could take forward in the Big Ten?
You know what? Oddly enough, you know, we actually scored a few goals in a couple of games, and we got done with the Great Lakes, and in talking to the guys, I said, hey, we scored 6 goals in 2 games, and I said, and when we get to where we want to be defensively, not only will that be good enough to win 2 games and win the Great Lakes, we'll end up scoring more goals and putting on you don't have to sacrifice anything by how you play defense, and not to confuse playing defense with just what happens in the defensive zone. It starts as soon as you lose the puck, you're playing defense. So how you're pursuing it on the forecheck, how you're transitioning once you get it. So there's a lot of aspects of the game that we can get better. And then we came back here, a very good Ohio State team, and 5 of the 6 periods we were pretty darn good. And the video we'll watch today, we'll have a lot of things from Saturday night that we did extremely well. And again, to remind them that they are moving down that path, that there are some things that they've learned. But when you're playing really, really good teams like Ohio State is, they're easily a top 10 team in the country. You have to be that much better, and you have to be that more consistent and that much more focused.
One of the better games you guys got Wisconsin 2 months ago on the back half of that double. What was the turnaround you saw between that first game and second game, and what kind of works against this team?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest part the second night, it's one word answer is real easy, just commitment, and that's to how we played and how hard we had to play. Commitment to being physical, commitment to blocking shots, to defending, commitment to each other, and being okay with having a really good shift that you don't score on, or blocking shots and defending really well and getting stuck in your own zone and not getting scored on and feel like that's a good shift. So we were really committed that night, and everybody was on board. And when you do that, team sports it's an interesting thing, and it's a fantastic dynamic. When everyone's going, there is something where there is some synergy where the sum of the parts or the whole could be better than the sum of the parts, and I really like that. And I think that's probably one of the better things that we've done this year in terms of that turnaround and how we played from night to night, and one of the lessons we learned. So what works against Wisconsin? Well, you better be dedicated. You better be committed. They can get up and down the ice. They've got guys that can skate. They've got guys that can put it in the net. A lot of their defense joined the rush quite a bit. So we're going to have to do a good job. And again, not just from our blue line back, but from their blue line in. Make sure that when their D move the puck, that we bump them. We don't have to kill them, but we need to bump them, so they have to come from a standstill and try and disrupt their rush a little bit and play more in their zone than we against their D than our D playing our zone against us.
You will coach Trent Frederick at the U.S. program. What's your take on him as a player, and how dangerous is he?
Oh, Trent's got first and foremost, he's a fantastic young man. He's just great to be around. He works hard. He's a great teammate. He's a real affable young man, and guys like him, and he's a great teammate. So, but skill-wise, I mean, he's big. He's all 6'2", 6'3". He skates very well, good hands. He's got an NHL shot, and when he's playing big and physical and shooting pucks and playing in the hard areas, he is a load to handle. So. Keys of playing against him. When he's on, we're just trying to limit him, and he's an interesting matchup for us. I mean, we don't have that animal of a big centerman that really matches up well against him just yet.
So you weren't surprised to see him score 4 goals against?
No, I've seen him score a lot of goals, and he killed a lot of penalties for us. Scored a lot of shorthand. He scored 20 goals for us his last year with the program. Not many guys score 20 goals. So again, with his makeup. Skill makeup and shot, it really didn't surprise me that much.
Do you know if Tony will be behind the bench this weekend, or is his other commitments?
No, yeah, I believe he'll be there. Yeah, I think they take off February 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I think Tony will be there. Yeah.
Do you have a relationship with Jim Slater, and either yes or no? What kind of impact does having on a West?
I do know Jim, and a little bit before coming back, and then he was around all summer, so I got to see him quite a bit, and sent him a note the other day after they announced it, and heard back from him. He's obviously really excited, and I think it's great for him and his family. I don't think Jim's playing another 10 years of hockey. He's probably on the downside of a great career. So tremendous honor for him. I know he's really excited to be a part of it, and it's great for us here at Michigan State too. Not that we wouldn't be following it, but having a Spartan in the lineup is a great thing.
Going back to your goaltending situation, since you used Mini on Saturday, is it still open? Is it just the fact that who's playing well in practice, or do you?
Yeah, no, we'll, you know, they're probably in the same state that the rest of the team is, you know, and I think trying to get them back on just the right mental mindset and understanding that they've done some good things and get away from the results part of it. You know, just hey, stop the puck, stop the next shot, and if something goes wrong, forget about it quick and move on. And that's a lot of the advice that we're going to talk to the guys about all week, and they'll get back. John did a great job for us. I mean, he didn't forget how to play goal. He'll be back, and you know, Ed had a good stretch. You know, he had a shutout, and then he had 39 minutes on Friday night. So you know, he went almost 100 minutes of not getting scored on. So you know what, they've got to battle and push each other, and you know, Coach Exter and Coach Luongo and I will talk at the end of the week, and we'll figure out, you know, who's the right guy for Friday night.